O cholera, czy to Freddy Fazbear?
Hello, good people. So, Springtrap finally came to Dead by Daylight. Mr. William Afton himself. And I absolutely love him. I know, super controversial opinion. What makes this killer so good, you might ask? Well, if you give me a little bit of your precious time, I'll try to give you an answer to that question. As you might know, Springtrap and FNAF in general were one of the most requested licenses that players wanted to see. There were fun concepts for Springtrap dating back to 2020 and maybe even earlier. So when the FNAF collab got announced last year, it's safe to say that people were hyped. I think in a sense, this announcement kinda overshadowed everything that was supposed to come out that year, since the license was so big and requested. So yeah, here we are, in a timeline where we actually got Springtrap. But what did we actually get? Well, I would say that Springtrap is a masterclass in killer design and should be held as a standard for future killer designs. Visually, the team did a great job. The animations are crisp, everything from attacking, Mori, and his animation-like movements in lobby, all of them are pristine, and I can't stress enough how good of a job I think they did. They really brought this character to life. And the cosmetics? Oh boy, don't even get me started. I recently rewatched the FNAF movie, and I'm gonna be honest, I love that movie. So seeing Matthew Lillard's in Yellow Rabbit suit as a cosmetic really surprised me, and I'm so happy that we got such a diverse collection of cosmetics. There's a look for everyone. His actual model is detailed, scary, and gave us our first look of what William Afton actually looks like after he gets trapped inside the Springtrap suit, or at least what's left of him. I've seen some people complain about his lobby and chase music, but I think they absolutely fit his aesthetic and character. The voice acting is top notch, and the lines themselves have a lot of relevance as well, which I find great. Okay, enough of the visual details. I'm not here to glaze Dead by Daylight's art team. Let's talk gameplay. I myself play both sides of the game, I'd say about equally, and I consider myself a Huntress main. Hello? Yes? Oh really? Oh. Okay, thanks, okay. I'll let them know, okay, bye. So, I just got a phone call. Apparently, I don't play both sides equally, and my most played killer is Nemesis. So I can't really say I'm a Huntress man, can I? But whatever. I'm going to compare his power to Huntress's anyway. First of all, what's his power? I'll try to keep this short. Basically, you get an X, you can throw the X. When the X gets thrown, you move faster, and you also get to teleport around the map. That's it. I don't want to go in any more details. That's all you need to know. What's the Huntress's power? Well, you throw an X. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I think the Springtrap has a slight advantage over Huntress. Why does he feel so good to play though? Well, you're pretty much rewarded every time you use your power. You get a positive feedback every time you use your power. You move faster if you don't have an X. Even if you don't directly hit the survivor with X, you still get some info from the killer's instinct. So the power feels like you always get something out of it. When you miss a Huntress's hatchet, for example, you don't get anything. You just get slowed down. So the survivor makes even more distance. And on top of this, you also get probably the best map traversal ability in game. The doors always spawn near the generators, and you also see the survivor's aura while inside the doors. I love the doors. You also get a lengthy undetectable status effect after you leave the doors. However, just to be clear, the X is arguably harder to hit than Huntress's, since the hitbox is smaller and there's a huge drop off when you throw it. But still, I think it's a really good power and feels amazing to use. And last but certainly not least, my favorite part of his power is the instant grabs. When I first saw this feature of his power, I thought this would be like a niche thing that you maybe get to use once every 10 or 12 games. But no, I actually grab survivors nearly every game, even multiple times. Maybe this is because players still don't know how to play against him, so they don't really prioritize getting rid of the X. But from my experience, it's not that hard to insta-grab someone every game, even multiple times. And I love it. Quick side note, this has already probably been answered or whatever, but I just love when people try to flashlight save while you're grabbing someone and they always fail and just stand there and look stupid. His add-ons are probably the most fun add-ons they designed in a very long time. I've tried using vast majority of them, and while my favorite are of course the haste add-ons, which grant haste to both you and the survivors, I actually found myself using the aura add-on and X duration add-on the most. It's such a nice combo that you can run pretty much every game, and since I played an aura build, they fit perfectly. As for his perks, I think they're just fine. There's really only one that stands out, and that's of course Phantom Fear. I can see the other perks being used in some fun builds, but nothing other than that. The build I used to play him is this. It's an aura build with a pain res for some slowdown. Phantom Fear was really nice to use, especially on a map like the new Freddy Pizzeria map, since half of the map is outdoors and you constantly get people screaming at you. To be honest, the only thing I didn't really like about this chapter was the survivor content. All original survivors got Freddy Pizzeria's shirts, which cost 250 Aurelic cells each. But if you compare them to earlier shirts we got, for example the Iron Maiden ones, you start to see that they might not be actually worth buying. You don't get any custom lobby music with them, and you only get print on the front side of the survivor, which in my opinion isn't enough to justify the price. So yeah, all in all, I find this chapter to be very good and very well done. The queues are not that bad either. Who knows, maybe I'm just lucky. But yeah, I hope you have fun playing Springtrap yourself, I hope you had fun time watching, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.